Hey everybody, I'm Jay from Making Sense, and today we're going to be talking about one fragrance that I completely fell in love with. As soon as I saw the hype it was getting, as soon as I saw how much appreciation it was getting, I wanted to try it. And it actually is one that is a clone, or supposed to be a clone, of the Creed Green Irish Tweed fragrance. And it's this one right here. It's the Armaf Nuit. And first off, the bottle is really cool. As you can see, it's all blue. I believe there's a red one as well, but this one's the blue bottle with the, I'm guessing, faux leather trimming around it, which is pretty cool too. And you got this buckle right there that has the name as well. But you know, I don't owe the Creed Green Irish Tweed, right? So I just went at it really with a blind eye, and I gotta say, it's quickly become one of my most favorite fragrances that I have. For those that have it or have smelled it, it's honestly one of the freshest colognes that I have. Right off the top, you get a lot of green, a hint of mint. You get sweetness too, but not a suffocating sweetness, right? Not an overwhelming sweetness, say like the Jean Paul Gaultier, the Le Mal, or the Ultra Mal, that can be suffocating for some people, and that's one of the reasons why some people don't like it. This one is very fresh, very fresh. So it's got, like I mentioned, that green right off the top, that mintiness. It has that sweetness kind of rounding it off, sort of a metallic feel to it as well. And as it starts to dry down, because I've worn this one several times, and I'm actually probably going to wear it relatively soon, as it starts to dry down, it doesn't necessarily, at least to my nose, it doesn't necessarily change too much in terms of, you know, the dry down and the other scents that start to come up. More or less, at least in my experience, that freshness stays. The sweetness fades away a little bit, at least to my nose, but more or less it stays very linear, if you will. And I have heard some people say that that's one of the downsides to this one, that it could be a little bit predictable. It could be a little bit one-dimensional. But in my opinion, it's what makes it really awesome, because it's a great office fragrance. It's a very great office cologne. It's not offensive. It projects quite well, but it doesn't... it's not overly exaggerating. It's not overly ostentatious, if you will, right? Like a Jean Paul Gaultier Le Mal or Ultra Mal more so. It's very sophisticated, very chilled out, very fresh, as I mentioned. But yeah, it's one that I really fell in love with pretty quickly. And it actually reminds me of another one that I'm going to be talking about as well, that I also got similarly at the same time almost that I got this one. And I believe it's the Al Haramain Amber Oud Carbon edition, I believe. It's the edition that it is. And that one is actually very similar to this one, but it does have some differences to it as well, obviously, that I'll talk about once I get to that one. But they're very similar spectrum of scent profiles, if you will. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this one. What do you guys think about the Tres Nuit? Is it something that that you've tried? Have you tried the Creed Green Irish Tweed? If so, do they compare? How do they compare, or are they totally, completely different fields in and of themselves? Like I mentioned, I really love the freshness and the inoffensiveness of it, because it really lends itself to be used in different situations, in my opinion, that could range from, say, like I mentioned, the office, to going out on a weekend, to even, honestly, it could be a night fragrance, maybe more towards summer or early autumn, but it still could work. right? It has that versatility. But if you're looking for something more ostentatious, more loud or louder, I mean, this might not be the one to go with, right? But if you're looking for something inoffensive, something that you can take to wear to the office and just rock it that way and not really raise too many eyebrows, but at the same time, if somebody comes by and takes a whiff, they're gonna like what they smell because it has that appeal, right? But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. The Armaf Nuit, very affordable. Another point to make. I believe I got this one for, it wasn't over $30. I don't remember the exact number, maybe 28, 27, but definitely was not over 30. So it's very affordable. I think it's a sleeper, although it is getting a lot of hype, although it's getting a lot of recognition and it's growing. Eventually it might get to the point where the price gets a little bit inflated. So if you find it and you find it for a good price, get it. I don't think you'll regret it, even if your preferred scents are a bit, like I mentioned, sweeter or louder or a bit stronger. It never hurts to have this up your sleeve, because it could come in handy in many situations, I believe, that require maybe less extravagance, if you will, right? But yeah, Armaf Nuit, awesome fragrance, awesome price. I think it punches above its weight class, and definitely one of the cologne fragrances that is definitely worth having. So if you haven't gotten it, definitely check it out. But yeah, Nuit. Thanks for watching. Peace.